we generated over $250,000 worth of revenue before we even started to build anything. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why distribution is so key when starting a business and how to go about building distribution before you've even launched a thing. Hi, I'm Harry Davis. I built a 7-figure agency and sold that 2 years ago. I now advise a number of different startups, ranging from small scale all the way up to businesses that have raised over 8 figures worth of venture capital funding. I've seen so many success stories, but also hundreds of businesses fail. And I'm here to help you create one of those success stories. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button if you're interested in building a profitable business for yourself. Okay, so let's dive in. So here's the mistake that kills most businesses before they've even launched anything. They try to build the product first. They spend months developing their application or their new SaaS tool, perfecting the offer, perfecting the actual design, perfecting the logo, the name, absolutely everything. They then launch it to absolutely nobody because they have no distribution, no audience, no attention, and no trust. And after this, they panic. They start spending money on Facebook ads. They're spamming DMs, they're utilizing automated email outreach, which is having serious diminishing returns thanks to artificial intelligence, and they are begging for referrals. And it doesn't work. So here is what actually works. You've got to flip the script completely on its head. So you build distribution first. You build an audience, you create attention, you build trust. Then, more often than not, they'll tell you what they want, and you build that. Now, this isn't just theory. Have a look at all these huge creators or business owners. Just look at Alex Hormozi. He built a huge following before starting to sell services, courses, and books. MrBeast, for instance, built over 200 million subscribers across YouTube and various other social media channels, and only then did he launch Feastables and a burger brand. If you look at every single newsletter or every single profitable newsletter that is printing millions of dollars worth of revenue, they all started out by building out and writing these newsletters on a weekly basis for completely free. Only once they built a solid amount of following were they able to sell sponsorship slots, sell courses, sell digital products, and a variety of other things. So distribution first, product and profitability come second. Now I'm going to show you how to actually build distribution. But before we do, let's just break down why distribution is so important. So there's been a huge shift in recent years with the development of artificial intelligence. Absolutely anyone can go out and build a website in a day. They can launch their own course in a week and start a services business with absolutely zero capital. The barrier to entry when building a business nowadays is so low, which means everyone has access to the exact same tooling. Anyone can go out and do it. So the real competitive edge here, or the moat, is distribution. The person with 10,000 followers with a really bad product is always going to beat the person with an incredible product with 0 followers. Every single time. Again, just have a look at some of the really successful content creators. Ali Abdaal spent 2 years posting videos on YouTube before launching his first productivity course and is now doing well over $4.5 million a year. Justin Welsh spent 3 years relentlessly posting on LinkedIn every single day, built over 500,000 followers, then started to launch digital products and is now doing over $5 million in revenue. And Sahil Bloom spent 2 years writing his newsletter for completely free, built over 500,000 subscribers, then launched courses and coaching, and is now doing well over $5 million a year as well. The pattern that we're starting to see here, build distribution, build trust, then monetize, not the other way around. Now, let's have a look at how to build distribution. So the first decision you need to make is actually where you want to build distribution, because you can't build everywhere. You don't necessarily have the time, plus you probably end up burning out if you're trying to build distribution across 6, 7, 8 different channels at the same time. So try to pick 1, maybe 2 platforms and really hone in and focus on them for the next 6 months. And here's an example of 4 of them so you can kind of figure out which ones to choose. So use LinkedIn for B2B services, coaching or consulting. There's a good audience on there which already have capital to spend. Most people on there are only there to actually learn and network, and long form content actually does really well as long as you're providing some sort of value. YouTube, if you want longevity and depth, because those videos aren't going anywhere, it's really good for educational content such as this, but growth is a lot slower, but it does compound over time. Again, if you are new to this channel, please just take a moment to subscribe. It really does help us out. X, or previously Twitter, if you want speed and conversions. I see a lot of people, a lot of new builders going to there, especially within the kind of B2C space. It's a really good place where you can start speaking to people, interacting with them, gathering as much feedback as you can, and that feedback will then translate into new product features or adjustments to your platform or product. You can often grow a lot faster on those channels as well than you would be able to on something like LinkedIn or YouTube. And then Instagram. If you're very visual, creative, you're in the fashion industry, design industry, food potentially as well, there tends to be a little bit of a younger audience on there, and it's more entertainment focused. And reels are the real game within Instagram, because you can do trial reels on there, which pushes your content out to people who aren't already following you, just to get more and more exposure. So as I said, pick one, commit to it for 6 months, and try not to flip-flop between different platforms. Really do just commit. Okay, so next up, you actually do need to become known for one specific thing, and not just entrepreneurship or business coaching or helping people. You have to be a little bit more specific. So here's a simple framework. Try to identify 3 to 5 content pillars that you're going to stick to. So for instance, if you're wanting to build a SaaS product, cover things like how to get your first customers, pricing strategies for SaaS, building in public, founder mindsets for tech companies, or product development. If you're a coach, you can talk about these 5 things: client acquisition strategies, pricing and positioning, delivery systems, time management, and mindset and sustainability. These pillars should be specific enough that you're the expert, broad enough that you have endless content to write about or talk about, and valuable enough that people actually care. And you've got to ensure that every piece of content falls into these pillars. And this is how you become known. Consistency within a niche. Okay, so here's the play that you can actually start focusing on straight away. Commit to 90 days worth of building content within your particular niche. Not just posting when you feel like it, being seriously relentless with trying to post a piece of content within your pillars or within your niche on a daily basis. Now, within the first couple of weeks, no one is going to know who you are. No one's going to react to any of the content that you're putting out there, and you probably will feel stupid. But then from weeks 3 to week 4, people will start to notice. You'll start getting a couple of people actually interacting on your posts or your videos. From week 5 to 8, the algorithm will start figuring out who you're actually trying to target, and it'll start pushing your content to more of those like-minded individuals. And from weeks 9 to 12, that's when growth really starts to accelerate and momentum starts to build. Most people do quit at week 3 though. So each post that you're putting out should be valuable on its own, relate to one of your content pillars, show your expertise, and build trust. The goal here isn't virality, it's consistency. Volume builds distribution, quality builds trust, and you need both. Okay, so now you've actually started to build your distribution. This is how you're going to start monetizing it. So for the first 90 days, you don't need to sell anything. And I know it feels wrong, but here is why you wait. So firstly, you're building permission. Every piece of valuable content is literally like a deposit into your bank that you're earning the right to eventually withdraw. If you're trying to sell on day 5 of building distribution, you're already trying to withdraw some of that capital from that bank account, and there's nothing in it yet. So build first, sell later. So during these 90 days of building up this distribution, you've got to create serious amounts of value every single day, respond to every single comment, get into people's DMs, learn what they struggle with, and document what you've learned, because that's always going to be more content for you to post anyway. And around day 60 to 90, something pretty magical starts to happen. People start asking you questions. They'll start DMing you and asking you, oh, look, I'll actually pay you for this. Now, this is gold, because your audience is basically telling you what they want, and more importantly, what they're willing to pay for. So with this, you can create a really simple survey to put out to your following, for instance, covering what's your biggest challenge, what would you like to fix, what would make your life a little bit easier in this particular aspect, and how much are you willing to pay for it? You can always just do a simple poll. The goal of this is to basically find the intersection of what they desperately need, what you can uniquely deliver, and then how much they're actually willing to pay for it. So never guess, always ask, and usually they'll tell you. Okay, the next step of this is actually pre-selling to your audience before building a single thing. So something that I advise a lot of different businesses on is actually don't build a thing until you've sold it first. Now, it might feel a little bit strange to be able to do this at the start, but trust me, it works. For a lot of people, it's usually just a confidence thing, but it is genuinely the only way to guarantee that you're going to be building something people actually want. So here's an example of what we did in Gather. We built an audience of over 10,000 founders and investors. We did this by hosting multiple events across every single month for about 2 years. We then started to realize that a lot of these people, whether they're founders, startups, VC funds, even private equity funds, were coming to us asking us for introductions to specific service providers. They might be finding it hard to find the right law firms to work with. They might need new accountants, whether it's new recruitment agencies, marketing agencies, design, whatever. This gave us the idea to actually build a marketplace where startups and scale-ups can go and find and compare vetted service providers for free. Now, before we actually built a single thing, We basically created a really simple presentation using Figma. We then sold that to the service providers, and we generated over $250,000 worth of revenue before we even started to build anything. Now, this not only validated the problem that the founders or the VC funds were having, but it also validated the problem for the service providers as well, because startups need service providers and they find it difficult to find the right ones for their businesses to scale. And service providers are always desperately trying to find new business, whether that's startups, venture funds, or private equity funds. This is how you eliminate the risk, basically. You're not spending months building something that you're not entirely sure people actually want. You're building exactly what your audience is asking you to do and what they're willing to pay for. Now that is distribution. And once you've begun to build this distribution, it really does start to compound over time. So every post that you're creating is going to be reaching new people, building more trust, finding new customers. And with that, you're then in a position where you can increase your pricing incrementally. And this is the game. And the longer you're able to actually spend playing the game, the better and the bigger and more profitable your business is going to be. Months 1 to 3 are really difficult. It'll feel like you're hitting your head against the wall continuously with absolutely no wins, but only then you'll start to realize that things will start to click. You'll start getting people coming towards you. You'll really start to hone in on this idea of what you're going to build and how you can actually service these customers or this audience that you've built. Now, the people who win in business aren't the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones that show up every single day relentlessly building distribution, because that distribution is your moat. And once you've built distribution, you can literally launch anything. So if you've made it this far through the video, thank you so much for watching all of it. If you are thinking about starting a business, please do hit the like button, subscribe. Also, let me know what business you're thinking about creating, or if you've got any questions on how to build distribution, please drop them in the comments below. I've also got a link here to my next video, or my previous video, in fact, which is talking about how to build a business utilizing AI. Thank you so much for watching.